And all being well, we should be live because I've got an advert. Let's see. Oh yeah, we are. It works. Bit of a technical problem. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We're live. All works well. Welcome along to the live stream, everybody. If you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself first of all. Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey. I'm one of the presenters right here on Adorama TV. And if you stick around later, you'll see another one. Daniel's going to be live in a few hours' time. But for now, you get me live on Adorama, all the way from the UK. Yeah, a little bit of a false start, but hopefully you can see and hear me. I don't know, I can't see the chat or the comments, but luckily I don't have to, because in the background, you can see them and you can hear them. Freya on the Super Switcher, Sam on the comments.
Hello.
Woo.
Hi everyone. Can you see us? I hope so. Because we can see you. Well, not literally.
Not literally.
No, just the comments. Don't worry, don't worry. Would you like to know where some people are from?
I mean, give me the edited highlights.
Okay, all right then. So we've got, there was one I was going to pick out who's here for the first time. This is Paul. Hello from Ilford in East London, where the black and white films come from. I've watched all your fantastic shows. This is my first time live, so welcome. Yes. We've got someone from Myanmar, which I said I'm not sure we've had anyone from there before. Switzerland, we've got Austria, rather hot Vienna. Yeah, you can probably see our pink cheeks. We're quite hot tonight.
You may have the white balance turned up on that
Michigan,
camera.
We've got Hamburg, we've got Egypt, we've got Jamaica. We've got Poland. Yeah, we've got loads of people here. So hopefully you can hear us and see us.
We shouldn't complain about the 25 degrees it is in here. That's centigrade. With some of those places, it's a bit warmer. But wherever you're joining me from, I really appreciate it. What's going to happen for the next 55 minutes at this rate is we're going to be doing a live portrait demo. And I've got two sets of lights to play with. I've got some flash, which is the Flashpoint Evolve 200 Pro Mark II, and some LED for a limited time only. I have borrowed from Godox the Godox Lightmons LA300R, also got a 150R as well. So I've got two different types of light, and the plan is really simple. I'm going to get the same setup and then light it first with flash, then with LED, and see how they compare, not only in end result, but also in just the mechanics of how that works. There's no right or wrong. First of all, let me give you a spoiler alert. If you're hoping I'm going to tell you that flash is better than LED or vice versa, that's not happening, because that is not how it works. They are two different jobs, two different light sources. They do cross over, and there is room in the world of photography for both. If you have a preference already, let me know in the chat. That's always kind of good to know. I use both, so I would be a both person. Now, I'm not here on my own. Luckily, we have an amazing model, so give it up for the awesome Chloe. What? So Chloe is going to be the model for this photo session, and we're going to start with something that I would reach for flash first, so that's where we're going to start. So, let me just turn my phone off as well. It's all been go. There we go. And done. Right. So, right, flash. We do flash? We should do flash. So I might have to move this out of the way. That's really what... We'll work around it. It'll be fine. Chloe, do you have a red top that we could put on? No. What about that jacket over there? Wow. Like, I'm pretty sure we had one half an hour ago. I'd forgotten about it. It is a bit warm, isn't it? I know what you're thinking. It's like, do I really have to put the... We'll just chuck him on the chair for now. We'll get around to that. We'll do the technical bit first, and then we'll get back to the look and styling in a minute. So, Chloe, I'm going to ask you to go right back up against this amazing background. Note the fantastic background that's just a bit too small for Chloe. So let me just raise that up. If you're wondering, can I buy this background from Adorama? The answer is no. I made it myself. It's a Brooklyn reflector with a whole bunch of red insulating tape over it. Yeah, that's it. It's as low tech as it gets, but it made a good image in the thumbnail, right? That was my thinking. So camera-wise, today I'm using an Olympus OM1. That really doesn't matter that much. And we're using Flashpoint lights. So let's get this light in nice and close. Let's spin it around. I'm using a 2 foot by 3 foot softbox because I've got one for both the LED light and the flash. So I've got the consistency of lights going on there. But this one isn't doing anything, just in case you're concerned. Right, so first picture. What's going to be our very first picture? Very first picture, always the same. I'm going to dial in some settings. Oh, I'm going to switch over my camera so you can see what I get. Bear with me a second whilst you're typing in the very important first picture that I can't possibly forget. Let's take that off the screen. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Cool. First picture is, does anyone know?
Yeah, I think they're just a little behind. You're just eager, aren't you?
I mean, it takes a long time to type in 4 letters. Okay.
So we've got Brad in the chat. Hey, Brad.
Dark frame. Oh, that's more than 4 letters. Well done.
We've got. See, it's moving so fast now. I can't catch them.
Yes, you see. NF, no flash, no Chloe. Spot on.
Yep. There we go. They're all on it now.
Excellent.
All on it. Yeah.
Jolly good.
Yeah. No flash, no Chloe.
Okay.
Purple selfie. There's Biggie.
All right, Biggie. Don't be careful what you wish for. You might end up doing that. Okay, so yeah, this is my first picture. It's not a broken frame. It's not a broken camera. At least I can't be sure of that, but I'm guessing it's not. You can see this spec in the top left corner of your screen. So I'm working at my flash sync speed, 250th of a second. F11, because I want Chloe in focus and the red lines behind her to be in focus. And also 250. Is that me or is that you? That's me.
Yeah, you insist on standing like directly on the cable. There you go. Thank you. Oh no! No.
Hang on. Let's just. We'll leave that on the screen a second. Let me just unplug that on.
I took it off immediately
That's
as soon as you said that.
Okay. Right. Let's see. So no flash, no picture. Let's turn the flash on. Let's grab ourselves a flash meter. All I need to do is to dial in the exact same settings on my flash meter, hold this near Chloe's chin, and make the flash match that power. Okay, not a problem. F11, we should be able to do that. Oh, F14, that's too far. F12.7, gotta love Seconic. F10, which is about as close as I can get to F11 on this meter. It's an odd thing. Okay, so quick little test photo just to see where we're at. Yeah, there you go, easy, dead easy. Nice and sharp. Whoop, let's see if I can find my mouse. There's my mouse. Beautiful detail. You can see I've got Chloe absolutely crisp. We may need to just position her a little bit differently, but that tape in the background, absolutely crisp and sharp. Yeah. Yeah. Tell you what, you stand still, Chloe. I will reposition myself to fit you in the right place. Okay, we can't avoid it. Can you put the jacket on for me? Whey! It's my job to trip over things. Your job not to. Oh yeah, might as well do the headphones, then you don't have to listen to me anymore. Okay. Yeah, what do you mean? I heard that. That's why you don't have a microphone. Okay, so giving Chloe something kind of in keeping to wear, a prop to interact with so she can move around listening to the best music that Adorama will pay for. And so on. So I could do this all day long. Absolutely easy. What happens if I switch to LED lighting? Because flash, it's going to excel at that. But can LED do exactly the same thing? Let's find out. So I'm going to move this out of the way.
Got a lot of love for your outfit, by the way, Chloe. With the red jacket. Yeah, yeah. No. Before the red jacket.
Before the red jacket.
Yeah.
What? What's wrong with the red jacket?
The red jacket's great, but Chloe's styling.
So I'm going to try and put my LED light in roughly the same position as we had the flash. Roughly. It's not an exact science. Okay. Now I know what you're thinking. I haven't turned it on. I haven't turned it on purpose. Don't worry. I haven't made a mistake yet. Don't worry about that too much, because what happens if I take the transmitter off and I take the same picture? No flash, no picture. Okay. No LED, no picture. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Nothing's changed. Now, why do I do that? There's a really good reason why this picture is important. It's because the lighting in here is super bright. It's set for video. It's unnecessarily bright for most people, so you can actually see me in a reasonably bright, clear way. However, if I add light into this, let's wait for it to come on. Is this light going to be as bright as flash? Spoiler alert. No, not even close. But we'll find out. Now this is a 300, I think it's 330 watts if we're exact. if I run this at full power, there's a couple of things that will happen. The first one is I will completely blow out the live video feed. And the second one is Chloe really won't thank me because 300 watts is super bright. For portrait work, 200 watts is about where I like to be. So I'm running this at 50% of its maximum power for comfort and convenience.
I have got a couple of questions
Fire
before
away.
you get too far into it. So a CNC Turbo Step asks, do you have your Sekonic set for third stop increments? Good. I'll make sure it's set for whole stops.
Okay, yes, I'm set to third stops. So you can have it set to 1/10 of a stop, half of a stop, third of a stop, or whole stops. I realise that's not actually in order. Third of a stops matches my camera, but it's not as accurate as 1/10 of a stops, which is where you want to be if you're using things like Pro Photo flashes or the more high-end of the Flashpoint range where it can do 1/10 of a stop. I've always worked in thirds of a stop. It just makes sense for me, and I'm happy that maybe I'm, you know, a bit of a stop under, a bit of a stop over. That works for me. But in certain circumstances, you'd want to be in 1/10 of a stop. Whole stops, I would say, is too inaccurate on your light meter because it's going to round up or round down, and that's going to cause, I think, too much of a randomness to your pictures. But whatever works. Okay, so no flash, no picture. Okay, LED is on. Now, let me just press the right buttons on my camera so I can see what I'm going to get. Here is what I'm going to get at the exact same settings. Remember, I need f11 to get a good depth of field. Now, I could make the flash brighter, but there's no way I can make it bright enough to actually illuminate this correctly. So what's my options? There are many, but what are my options? Remember, I'm trying to reproduce the lighting look that I had with flash. So more light is a possibility, but it's not going to work for the video. It's definitely not going to work for my model's comfort. And let's face it, that is the priority. So I'm not going to do more light. I have other options.
I do have a question.
Yeah, far away.
Biggie asked, do the panels fold for transport, or do they pack that big?
The panels. I wonder which panels he means. If he means the stripy one behind Chloe, no, that is pretty much just that one size. This is a softbox, so this packs down into a small bag. Hang on. Right, like that big. Okay, so that is the bag for the softbox.
You've now got some answers.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we've got ISO,
Yep.
ISO or shutter speed,
Yep.
f5.6, longer shutter speed,
Yep.
ISO, lots of ISOs.
Okay, oh, ISO, we'll do ISO. That makes, I like the sound of
Increased
ISO.
aperture, lower shutter speed. You've got loads.
Okay, ISO it is. Now I'm going to have a little look through here. So f11, let's change my ISO up to, well, my camera says 3200 will get me the correct exposure. Fabulous. Okay, ISO 3200. That's okay, that looks fine. There might be a bit of an issue though, because there's lots of light. Where's this light coming round the back of Chloe? Look, there's even a little, where's that coming from? Have I got magic lights that can bend around corners? No. Remember, no flash, no picture. Well, if the LED isn't on at that setting with this room light, I'm recording this. So this is not no flash, no picture, or no light, no picture. I'm getting ambient light in my scene, which might not be an issue, but it might be the wrong color of light. It could give you shadows that you don't actually want. So here's the first thing about LED. If you're going to work with LED, you've got to get control of your room lights, not by using exposure, but by physically turning or blocking lights, which means I've got to turn them off. Hang on a minute, let's turn that one off. How's that? That's dark,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I got darker than I thought. Okay,
It's just cosy.
let's see what we get. So this is now my no flash, no picture, no light, no picture. We're back where we started. Let's turn the light back on. Brace yourself. It will get quite bright quite quickly. Hey, there we go. Welcome back to the video. And now I can see beautifully. This looks really good. Fantastic. Okay. Okay.
I'm going to read you a really nice message.
Go for it.
Well, they're all really nice messages. Just this one that you'll be really, you won't know what to say. Aaron said, Gavin, my first live with you. Well, congratulations,
Hey,
you
hi,
found us, Aaron. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Your videos have taken me from an absolute beginner to people reaching out to book me for paid gigs. Many thanks. Oh, that's brilliant.
Blimey, Aaron, well done.
Thank you.
I'm glad we've helped. Yeah, I never know what to say. So that's okay. It's not the crispest picture I've ever taken. And that's because I'm at 250th of a second and Chloe is moving. So I'm getting possibly camera shake, possibly subject movement. So I need to fix that. So the only way I can fix that is shutter speed. So I need to take my shutter speed up to maybe 1,000th of a second. And if I go up 2 stops on my shutter speed, 250th to 500, 1 stop, 500 to 1,000th of a second, 2 stops. I need to take my ISO up 2 stops or sacrifice depth of field. That was an option as well. I forgot what was on. Was I on 6? There. I was talking and not doing maths. Okay, so these are going to be sharper because now I'm at 1,000th of a second, so I don't have to worry so much about camera shake or model movement, but the quality, have a look at the quality back there. Ooh, not good. Yes, I can fix it with AI. Yes, no one's ever going to see it if I put it on Instagram, but I know I can do better. And in this scenario, LED is not the tool of choice for me. Okay, it's asking too much. I want to have enough light to freeze action, enough light for a good depth of field. That's where flash, for me, is an absolute winner. Okay, so spoiler alert, it's not always going to win, but in this scenario, lots of depth of field or anything that involves stopping motion, flash is unbeatable. Okay. In which case, we should probably do something where LED does a bit better, shouldn't we? Let's turn some lights back on, because time is ticking by really quick. Let's move some lights around. Pop that over there. Do you want to just step out of the way? You can take the jacket off as well, because it's kind of warm. And we'll move this. So if you're just joining us, welcome along to the live stream. You're watching Adorama TV, and we are live. Unless you're watching the recording. If you're watching the recording, hello recorded people. Welcome along to the recorded live stream. But if you are live, you can ask questions live and I will do my best to answer them. Answers may not be helpful, but I will do my best nonetheless. Oh, good job you can't see that happening off camera. Right, so let's switch back to flash.
I was going to ask what lights people have at home. Have they got LEDs? Do they use flash? Do they use both? Maybe not at the same time. Let us know in the comments.
Maybe they do at the same time.
That's a different question.
Yeah, that's a different live stream. Maybe Daniel was doing that later on. Who knows? Okay, so let's set up something a little bit more static. So, Chloe, I'm going to get you to have a seat on the chair for me. I've got a nice mottled background. We've got a bit of a texture thing going on there. And I would like to do an image with a shallow depth of field. Okay, nice shallow depth of field, wide open, big aperture, blurry backgrounds. You know the look. I'm going to do it with flash, and then we'll repeat the process with LED. Right, so a few things we can get here. We can get a transmitter. Anyone? Oh, there it is.
So, got a few answers if you want to hear what people use.
Sorry, I lost the transmitter and panicked.
I could tell, yeah. We've got flash. I have both. That's Brad. I have video lights and I have strobes, different use cases.
Absolutely.
Both depending on the desired effect. I use LED in. I need to get my teeth in, don't I?
Welcome to my world.
LED in studio for fill and flash as key.
Yeah.
Both light setups depending on the use. I use flash, but add LEDs when doing shutter drag. Flash only so far. Yeah, so a bit of a mix by the looks of things. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so and that's absolutely fine. LED a couple of years ago was barely on my radar. Now it's very much part of my tools of choice. So there's there's a right tool and a wrong tool for every situation. I can make pretty much any piece of kit do a job and get something out of it, but sometimes flash is definitely the better choice, and sometimes maybe it's LED. Sometimes it doesn't matter. So let's set this up. Shallow depth of field. We're going to have lovely lighting coming in from the side, something like that. We're going to get a flash meter. I want to do, well, actually, before we do the flash meter, I want to do wide open, or very close. So I'm going to switch lenses. Let's grab a 1.2 lens. Okay, so I've switched out to the 45mm f1.2 lens from OM System. There's gear links to all of the lights and the cameras and stuff in the video description if you want to find out more. That'll take you back to Adorama. I need to do a couple of things. Flash sync speed. So my flash sync speed, 250th of a second. Let's go with f1.4. You never really want to be absolutely wide open. Affects the quality. And I don't want to be at 12,800 ISO. I want to be at 200 ISO. Okay, we're there. Okay, what do we do first? No flash, no picture. Okay, here we go. No flash, no picture. Whoa, no. Okay, that didn't work, did it? There's lots of picture. There's Chloe all over this. I need to get rid of Chloe in the photographically exposure kind of way, not stay where you are. So I need to change something. I could drop my ISO down. It's not really going to help a great deal when 200 is my native ISO for my camera. I'm going to take my shutter speed up. Not a problem. Shutter speed up. Let's go, let's see here, 2,000th of a second. Let's give 4,000th of a second for good measure. 4,000th of a second, all I can see is an earring. I think there's an earring down here somewhere I can see there. That is an earring, okay? That's it. So I'm happy with that. That means I've got control of the lights. Now, all I need is to make my flash work at 2,000th of a second, or even 4,000th of a second, which is way beyond the flash sync speed. Luckily, I have a flashpoint flash. And if you're not in the US, that will be a Godox flash. And if I turn this on, okay, here it is. This is my little transmitter-y thing. If I put this on my camera now, it's going to default back to 250th of a second. It just will. It's intelligent because it has a bunch of pins that match my camera. It's intelligent and it knows that that is my flash sync speed. However, there is a little button that says sync. I don't know if you can see that. I've run out of hands. Hang on a second, I've run out of hands. Just put that on there.
So we've had a few people say HSS.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly what we're going to do. High-speed sync. Let's
But
find
you
it
need
upside down.
HSS now. Yeah.
Okay, have a look in the top corner up here somewhere. When I press the high-speed sync button, see the little lightning bolt with H? It's off, it's on. That's all I have to do. That little action alone will allow my camera and my flash to communicate at 4,000th of a second, even faster if I want to, without any issue whatsoever. Really simple, no problems at all. Okay, right, here we go, 4,000th. I can't see anything through there. Let me just press a button. There she is. Okay. I don't know what was it on? 1/8 power. That looks about right, actually, doesn't it? Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a 1/4 power. Yeah, maybe, okay, something in the middle. However, it's as simple as that. It's fantastic, isn't it? Love it. Okay, we could get a second flash. Oh, yes, we could. We could get a second flash. We could pop it in the background. There we go. Love that. Carefully positioned. Notice how careful I was with the positioning of that. We'll put that flash down 1/28th power, quite low. Okay, that's way too bright. Oh, it's still on half power. That's because I moved the wrong one. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Welcome to the world of live streaming. Yeah, I think that's better. There we go. Okay, a little bit bright on Chloe still because I managed to mess things up in my speed and haste. Yeah, lovely. I could take pictures like this all day. Now we've got this dialed in. It's absolutely marvellous. I tell you what I'd like though, actually, Chloe. I'm going to move the light a little bit. Let's just make it a little bit more kind of edgy and moody. Let's do that. Right, okay, I've moved the light. Okay, I might need to change a few things in here though. Bear with me, because with high-speed sync flash, if you move something, if you change something, then you've got to just stop and check and make sure that everything is where you want it to be. Move the light, change the light. That's how it works. It's not difficult, it's just bear that in mind. Every time you change, you need to refine.
Got a question.
Fire away.
Fabrice asked, would max sync speed with ND filter do as well, or is there an advantage to HSS?
So the advantage to HSS is it is very simple to apply. The advantage to ND filters is you get more power. So if I'm outside and I can get away with, say, a 4-stop ND, I'd rather do that than HSS, because you lose more than 4 stops if you do high-speed sync. Not going to matter in here, but on location, I'm an ND fan. In the studio, I'm a convenience of the high-speed sync flash. However, and it is a really good question, Fabrice, which is, to make this work, you need a flash that's high-speed sync compatible, and they're not all high-speed sync compatible. You need a transmitter that's high-speed sync compatible with your camera, and you need your camera to actually be able to do that. With some cameras, you have to go into the menu and turn that on. It's not on automatically. Those are few and far between, I think, nowadays, but they still exist. So there's a bunch of steps you need to get over to get to that point. Right, let's switch to LED and see whether this is different. I mean, spoiler alert, obviously it's different. Mind your toes. Coming through. Coming through. Move that out of the way. Right. LED. Now, you'll probably notice that I'm actually wired into the mains with my LED. This is the Godox Lightmons LA300R, and it's mains powered. But do not let that confuse you. There are absolutely loads of battery-powered LEDs that are more than up to the job. It's just, I don't have one today. And, as Chloe pointed out earlier when I mentioned this, there are plenty of flashes that are mains-powered. Right, now we know we need to turn the room lights out. We also know not to trip over the cable. Okay, great. Right, yeah, that's it. I'm done. I just need to look through the viewfinder, set my viewfinder to show me the exposure, and I can just dial in, because with LED, oh, let's turn the flash off. Nobody saw that. We'll take that out in the edit, that'll be fine. With LED, what you see is what you get. It's way quicker with LED. It's way cheaper, potentially, with LED, because we could have this with, well, the sun. It could be absolute zero. This could be a window. Any kind of continuous light is faster to set up. And because it's not as bright as flash, I don't have to jump through hoops. It's naturally not as bright. I mean, it's brilliant. And I know what you're thinking. Well, that background's a bit dark. Well, I got 2. There we go. Not a problem. This one is also mains powered, so I'll just need to come around here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Too many cables. Plug that into there. Oh, I've chosen the one with the shortest cable to put at the back. Genius. Turn that on. Back it up a little bit. And wait patiently for it to come on. We'll put it into colour mode. Hey, there we go. Let's stick it down to maybe 25%. 25%, there it is. So that's 25% of its full brightness. And I can see, even without pressing the shutter, that's not what I want, because what you see is what you get. So it's too bright, it's too small. Not sure I can do much about the size because we don't have a lot of room, but I can do something about the brightness, because now it's down at 8%. Beautiful. Okay. Pin sharp. There's not a case of these aren't sharp enough. I'm working at 1,000th of a second, f1.4. These are going to be every bit as sharp as my flash pictures. Chloe isn't doing anything. She's not taken up juggling or, I don't know, flag waving or anything like that. And if I want that sort of kind of more moody, edgy look, there it is. I can literally see it right here, and I can see I want to change possibly my shutter speed. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Okay, so I've got absolute control over this setup. Total control. It's a really, really easy setup to do. But I wish it stopped there, but it doesn't, because there's some other things that you can do as well. So, we've got a bit of time. I've jumped ahead a tiny bit. I'm going to jump backwards a little bit. Let's put the flash back in. By the way, if you're watching live, you've got any questions, do chuck them in the chat. That should be a catchphrase, which I think as a rolling thing. Chuck it in the chat. Oh, mind your toe. Oh, yeah, that's all your fault, Chloe.
So Michael asked, are juggling and flag waving common professions there?
Oh, in the UK, they
All
literally
the
teach us that
time.
at school, don't they? Right. I knew there was. Do you know when you're doing a shoot and you think there's definitely something I said before the shoot, I will definitely do that during the session, because I forgot to do the background. I mean, we lit the background. Okay. Whoa. Tangle, tangle, tangle. Let's see where we're at. So where were we? We were at 2,000th of a second. Was it 4,000th of a second? ISO 200. Yeah, okay, cool. We were somewhere around about there. That background was a little darker. However, the background on that image, it's fine. Let's take one more. It's all right. The whole thing is a little bit on the grey side. So I'm going to light that background with a gel. What colour gel would you like me to light? Feel free to stick it. I've got to go and find them whilst you're typing them in, because they're over here somewhere. I actually don't know where they are. What colour gel would you like? Stick it in the chat, and I will do my best with my random selection of gels. Always going to be very random today because they're not ready. Oh well, see what we can find out of this lot. Keep entertaining them, Chloe. You're doing a good job.
Get your juggling going, flag waving.
Your flag waving.
Right. Here we go. I got a bunch of gels.
we got
Look
some-
at the state. This is welcome to the real world. These are real photographers' gels. These aren't neat ones that are only for display. This is the real world. So, any preferences on colour?
The real world in your world.
No, it's
I bet everyone else has got theirs all neatly colour coded,
oh yeah, there's going to be somebody who's got them in
not
like
all stuck together.
ascending,
Right,
maybe
so we've
alphabetically.
got blue, purple, blue. There's always one rainbow. Purple-ish, purple. PTO,
Please turn over.
pink, purple, orange, purple, blue, purple, blue.
So I'm
Another
hearing red.
rainbow. Do you know there's no reds?
So red, yeah? Got it.
No tartan.
Red. No, red. I can do red. I wasn't going to do red, but as it's been requested, I'll tell you what, I'll do red. How about red? Red? Let's do red. Okay.
Right, here we go. Just for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure about. It's not a great choice. Okay, look, fine. Here we go. Here's red. Let me just press that button and okay. Red. You see? Not making this stuff up. I do know what I'm doing. I can control the illumination of that, the saturation effectively, by changing the power of the background light. So here is red, okay? Which is why I've chosen red, because it really stands out. I'll do it purple in a minute because I got the message. But I can control that illumination level really easily. But it is just the saturation. The brightness gives us a degree of what you see, but it doesn't change fundamentally the colour. It's still the same colour, just brighter or darker. Purple, I did see a purple. It's got a lot of other things stuck to it, but okay. How's that? Just do that. That would be all right, wouldn't it? There we go, purple. Purple. Now, different coloured gels will affect your exposure. So if you're using flash and gels, remember, as you change your gel, the density of that gel might affect the results you see. And it's just a perception thing as well. Okay, so purple. Yeah, it works quite well, doesn't it? That's not bad. But I can also change it, make it a bit brighter, make it super intense if we really want to go intense. But it's always the same colour of purple. That doesn't change, just the brightness of it. Okay. LED. Imagine I didn't get carried away and get ahead of myself. This is where we'd fix it in the edit. A luxury you don't have on live. Okay, right. Got a light coming in there. We'll get rid of this one. Mind your toes. Oh, there we go. Honestly, you keep sticking your toes out like that. Okay, just be glad I haven't got a sandbag on the bottom. Before anyone asks, no, it doesn't need a sandbag. Trust me, the weight up the centre is very significant. Okay, whoa, bright. Room lights off. Flash off. Camera reset to a different setting to account for the different illumination, but what I see is what I get. Okay. Something like that, sleepy.
I think
Lovely.
Mark has put Etruscan red. I think Mark must be poorly because it's always purple, Mark. Come on. Every time.
All right.
Someone always has my
so the
back.
question remains, what colour should I make the background now we're in LED? Okay. Because these are RGB. The R in the Lightmon's LA150R stands for RGB, red, green, blue. Although when you actually go into the menu, they're always called HSI, hue, saturation, illuminance. And I can change everything. Any preference on colour? Just going to have a little... 1 second.
So Biggie's put, oh, shoes are not in the photos, but they look cool, pointy. Yeah, they're very cool shoes.
Cheers,
so,
Biggie.
not you.
Oh.
Philip said LED light makes the room a bit more warm.
Not necessarily, Philip. So these are bi-colour, which means that they can shift their colour from a cold blue to a warm orange within the white spectrum. So if it looks warm, then you just need to dial it in. I've set this one to 5,200, which is the same as the cameras.
So also, Alex has put, I guess Chloe prefers flash over LED. So it's a good question. What's your preference, Chloe?
You can be honest, it's fine. Yeah. I can answer flash. From a model's point of view, flash is generally better because they see the flash go. They can move with the flash. And if you're not a nice photographer and you whack these things up to full power, you've got to remember it's not the most comfortable place to be for an hour. So flash, from a modeling point of view, is probably preferable if you're just doing stills photography and that's your only concern. You just need to be mindful of what you're asking someone to do.
So we've got some colours for you.
Yeah, okay, what have we got?
So we've got flashing teal and orange, green, red, black.
Well, black, yeah, it's not a colour.
Red,
Yep.
blue. Yeah, don't get him started. Red,
It's an illuminance.
burnt sienna, red, sulking room pink.
No one's asked for purple. Honestly, I don't get this audience at all sometimes.
Let's go with Chloe's favourite colour.
Chloe's favourite colour. It's going to be black, isn't it?
No, it's green.
Green? I didn't know that. Well, we're going to do green. Okay, let's do green. Okay, green. Now, I could use the app and choose a colour, but I'm actually going to do it by eye. And we're going to dial in green. There we go. Green. So here's the thing. LED, whatever colour you want, if it's an RGB LED, I can dial in green. Okay? But is that the green you want? Or would you like this green? Maybe this is the green you want. So unlike gels, where everything is fixed, but you can change the illuminance level. With RGB LED, I can change the saturation, I can change the luminance, I can adjust the hue in degrees. I've got so much control over this, it's nuts. So if you want to do anything with colour, an RGB LED gives you way, way more control. I can adjust the brightness of this. You know, it's fantastic. And if you're apped up on your phone, you can do it without having to keep wandering back to your model.
So I did see right at the beginning, we had a comment from Alan, Bushy Park Alan, say it'd be interesting to see if you use smoke and see the difference. So perhaps that's another.
Yeah, for another one, we can do that. Just, yeah, won't get to do that today because we won't see out the thing. That is the same colour, but the saturation at 65% and 100%. So I can control that's no difference in illumination, just the saturation. Oops, that we read. I can control everything incredibly finely. So when it comes to a shallow depth of field, or if it comes to anything in colour, RGB LEDs win hands down. They're just so much quicker, so much easier, and so much more controllable than flashes. What you see is literally what you get. Right, one more to do. 15 minutes to do it. We can do it. Let's put the lights back on. Chloe, do you want to hop out? Because I'm just going to move things around a little bit.
Can you take a question?
I can take a question whilst I'm setting stuff up.
So Matt asks, is there any advantage to using mechanical shutter over electronic shutter to stop flickering?
Okay, so with LED, possibly it depends on your camera setup. You might find you get some flickering. I don't ever see it in the final photos, at least not on my camera, but I do see it through the viewfinder with some LEDs at some powers, at some shutter speeds, other way. So if it's a problem, then switch from mechanical to electronic or vice versa. If it's not a problem, don't worry about it. Don't go looking for problems that you don't see. Okay.
And there's another question.
Fire away.
Did you change the white balance between flash and LED?
Nope, I kept the white balance exactly the same. So the white balance for LED is locked in. How'd that happen? Locked in at 5,200K. However, the flash white balance is about 5,200K. And as you go up and down on the power of your flash, that K value can go up and down by a couple of hundred. So if you're looking for absolute consistency, RGB wins. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. That goes there. Whereas if you're looking for about right white balance, flash is perfect. But if it is absolutely accurate white balance you need, then you need to meter and take a color reading every time you change an element of your flash setup.
So Mark has asked if Chloe can wave flags and juggle while she's hopping out. Well, she did actually. You can't see her, but she's doing really, really well.
Oh,
She's
okay.
actually, she's on a unicycle now, waving that flag.
How are we doing this? We're going to do this. Yeah, do this. Right, okay, so last one, I saved the most complicated to last because, well, that's what we do. We're going to get a chair for Chloe to sit on. We're going to move that back there. Let's bring the flash in first. So we'll move that out the way. Could do with a bigger studio.
You've never mentioned that before.
Or maybe a couple of assistants.
I'll take a note.
Right. So we're going to have light coming in from the side. We're going to do a nice kind of edge-lit portrait, something like that. So we'll put our little 3x2 right next to this stand. We're going to have Chloe facing away from you and towards the wall. Yeah, Chloe, do you want to come on through? Okay. Let's work out some settings for the flash. So this time I don't need anything amazing. I just need a decent exposure. Let's see what we get.
So Tony's just asked a question, but I think you might be answering part of that with this setup.
Okay.
So hi Gavin, just joining.
Hey Tony, welcome along.
I guess my question is, we can't have the subject doing action with LED lighting.
It's probably not the best choice if you want to freeze what your subject's doing, if you're doing stills. If you're doing video, of course, that's not the case at all. It's completely different, but that's a very different live stream. But for stills photography, the ultimate freezing power comes from flash. As you will see, as Sam says, that is coming. I think this is going to be a black and white picture. Let's skip ahead, put this to black and white. Let's dial in some settings. Flash sync speed 250. Turn off high speed sync, don't need that. I can't remember what I set. I think I set it to F8. Let's find out. Okay, so I've gone with a sort of contrasty black and white, which is quite nice, but I've got a curtain behind Chloe that we're going to do. Well, there's two ways I could do this. Way number one is I could throw it in the air, run round, take a picture. That's not going to work, is it? Well, way number two is I can get Freya to come out and give me a hand. So, oh, she's like, oh no, not again. So give it up for the amazing Freya. Woo! All right, okay, so yeah, welcome out front. Yeah. They can see you, and they can't hear you much, so you're okay. All right, so what Freya's going to do is she's going to shake the curtain quite vigorously. Can you hold it out a bit further? That's it. And give it a vigorous shake. Sam, can you... Oh, wait, Sam's on it. What? Freya, you're out of a job.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's great. We'll stop there. It's beautiful. Lovely. Look at that. Okay, so one of the things about Flash is its sheer ability to freeze movement. Now, it won't give me the depth of field to get this in focus, but you can see it is frozen, even if depth of field gives us a bit of blur. It is sharp. So how's it doing that? Remember, I'm only at 250th of a second. There's no way, even with Freya's amazing, perfectly sped, is that a word?
No.
Perfectly sped flapping? That's a word.
No.
That's a word.
No.
Speeded?
No.
Speeded flapping.
No.
That's also a word. So how am I getting the action to freeze under those circumstances? Coming through. All right, it's all down to flash duration. Okay, so on the back of the flash points, this is the Flashpoint Evolve 200, is a little screen, and you're looking just below, oh, of course it's gone off, just below the number where it says the T value. T 0.1 is the amount in time that it takes for 90% of the flash power to come out, which is like an industry standard reading. So the flash duration is 1/3910th of a second. Now that's important because that effectively is my shutter speed. That is my effective shutter speed. My 250th of a second is just there to keep the shutter open whilst the flash fires. And the flash only goes on and off between 300 and 3,000. I can't, you do the maths, yeah? You can read the number. Okay, so that becomes your effective flash, no, your effective shutter speed. Oh boy. Takes a bit of getting your head round, but that's what it is. And that's how it freezes the action. And the lower I make my flash, the shorter the flash duration becomes, the more freezing I get out of it. Okay, so lower powers, more freezing, higher powers, less freezing. Does that make sense? If it does, let me know in the chat. If it doesn't, keep it to yourself. Watch Daniel's, he'll probably explain the same thing but better. Okay, coming through. How does that square up with LED? Can we get anywhere near that? So far, we've found one way that works brilliantly with flash, one way that works brilliantly with LED. What's your thoughts on this one? Freezing power of flash versus, oh, it's not turned on.
So James has said, have you tried combining flash and LED in one exposure with intentional movement to get halo effects like Nadav Kanda?
No, it's not strictly true. I have done that, but I did it to get freezing effect like Seth Miranda, which I think is what you meant to type there, wasn't it? Seth Miranda. Yeah, we did a whole session on Adorama TV with a ballet dancer going across here where we had LED and flash. But if you want to know real pop and blur, then check out Seth's work, because Seth is the master at doing that.
And Paul said it makes perfect sense.
Thank you, Paul. I think you may be being polite, but I'll take it anyway. Okay, so LEDs over to the side. Right over to the side, something like that. We're going to turn the room lights out because we know that's what we need to do to get control of the room. There is no transmitter on my camera. This is good news. If I take a picture as it stands, okay, I mean, let's call it moody. Let's call it artistic. It's artistic if that's what you want. If that's what you want, that's absolutely perfect, and it's art, it's beautiful. That isn't what I wanted, it's a mistake. But if it is what you want, then great. Okay, so I need to adjust a few things. I could go with a different aperture. Let's see, let's go maybe f2.8. Oh no, I've still got my fast lens. I can go f1.4. Okay. Okay, I can get f1.4 out of this. Pretty good. Frey, do you want to give it a shake? Okay, here we go. Frey's going to give it a shake. Okay, well, maybe even a little bright on Chloe. I might even be able to get away with a slightly faster shutter speed, but that's fine. So there's a couple of things going on here now. There is sharpness on Chloe, pin sharp, but that we've lost. I can't see what it is anymore. It's just a mush. The shallow depth of field is too shallow, way too shallow. It's also probably blurred from motion blur because I'm at 250th of a second, not 3,800 and whatever change it was. So that isn't quite working for me. Now, we could battle against this, but here's the thing. There are times when battling against something is worth doing, and there are times when knowing the limitations of your equipment can lead you in a direction that is way more interesting than where you wanted to go. So rather than trying to get this frozen, I'm going to deliberately, intentionally blur this image. Stick with me. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I want to change my shutter speed. I want to change my shutter speed to maybe half a second. Let's do something like that. Let's try a quarter of a second. Okay, quarter of a second. If I do nothing, it's going to be super bright because the shutter's open for a long time. This is continuous light. Okay, we don't want to do that. We need to take the aperture down to get rid of some of that light. This is good news because that's what I wanted to do anyway. F11 looks like a bit of a winner. You can already see, just by Chloe's little movement there, that there's two things. One, any movement's going to give me blur, and two, I really must clean my sensor.
Terrible sensor dust.
It's not terrible sensor dust.
Oh, sorry, arty. It's arty.
No, you're right. It is terrible sensor dust. If you only ever shoot wide open, you don't have to worry about cleaning your sensor. But there we go. Okay, so that is okay, I think. Yeah, we can probably make that work. Frey, do you want to give the blanket a bit of the curtain a bit of a shake? And I'm doing these handheld. I'm not trying to get these pin sharp. Every picture will not be a success. Okay, that's kind of good. I like that. So we have blur, sharp. We have motion going on there. That's not bad. Some of those are definitely better than others. However, there's quite a dark patch here. How am I going to fill that dark patch in? Any thoughts? How am I going to fill that in? Well, I could get a flash. I could get another LED. I could turn the room lights back on. Yep, that thing I said don't do, I'm now doing. Okay, right, give me a flap. Frey, can you bring it closer to Chloe and can you hold both bits? Oh, sure. That's the way. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, no. Yeah, you might have to kind of hold it kind of like that. That's, yeah, a lesson on flapping coming up. There we go, beautiful.
There's quite a lot of comments about having either a second light or a reflector.
A reflector, yeah. I didn't
Brooklyn
think about
reflector.
that, yeah.
Room lights.
Brilliant.
Phone torch, yeah.
Every single picture is different. Every single one is unique. I don't know which one's going to work. I don't know if any of them are going to work. And I don't care. What? Beautiful. Fantastic. There we go. Let's stop there. So that is taking the disadvantage of something and spinning it around and making it an advantage, a deliberate photographic way of working. Softness, Freya, you can go back and you've probably got buttons to press and things, otherwise we'll still be live when Daniel starts. So, a deliberate, intentional way of making something that is wrong absolutely right. And that's what I love about photography. You can do the technical bit, but the arty bit is something that just happens, and what you like is not necessarily what everyone else likes.
It's a little jazz album cover of Chloe singing the blues.
Singing the blues. Yeah, we should do karaoke Christmas. Do karaoke
No,
Christmas.
I've heard Chloe singing. She's too good. She's too
no.
good. Yeah. Make us all look bad.
Yeah, we'll save that one. Okay, so there we go. So that brings us to the end of our little live stream. Just to recap what we did, we had a look at flash versus LED, found that flash was definitely the best choice if you want to work with good depth of field and to get work in brighter conditions. LED was definitely the winner when it came to working with a shallow depth of field and for anything where I needed to refine the color. And if you had movement, well, flash definitely is the way to go if you want to freeze it. But if you want to get creative and arty, it's much easier to do that with LED lighting. Boom! Should you use LED? Should you use flash? Yes. That's not much of a help, but hopefully you found this at least interesting. Okay, so brings us to the end of the live stream. I'm going to say thank you very much to Freya on the Super Switcher and for doing the flag waving, and Sam on the comments.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for coming along. It's been very, very chatty in the chat.
Has he really?
Yeah.
I've no idea, but I'll take your word for it. Good.
Thanks for joining in. Thanks for answering questions. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, Chloe did an amazing job. Give it up for Chloe. You'll find links to Chloe's Instagram down in the video description. And if you want more of this kind of thing, we're back in about 4 weeks, I think, time to do this again. I think we're going to have Sophie in with us for that one, which would be pretty good. We've got some content coming up on Adorama, recorded stuff as well. But if you want live stuff, the Adorama events channel has loads of stuff streamed live from the actual store itself. And tonight in the store, Daniel's going to be doing a live stream. You may need to go, if you've already sort of subscribed to that one, you may need to go and redo it because I think we had a bit of a glitch at the beginning. So head over to Adorama's YouTube channel, this one, and check out his new live stream details and make sure you see him there in 2 hours' time. Alrighty, that brings us to an end. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.